The question is still open whether Donald Trump will win the presidential race, but his influence on the market is growing every day. Moreover, the popularity of this showman is spreading over the global scale. In his interview yesterday, he said that the dollar's strength against the weak yuan and yuan is a problem that can shake the markets. In fact, there is nothing new in these words, because the balance of power of these currencies on Forex has been maintained for months. However, the fact that Donald Trump touched on this topic speaks on his far-reaching ambitions as the US president. Besides, Donald Trump has his finger on the pulse of the US relations with China. At the same time, his vision is radically different from the views of the current White House administration. In the meantime, the world's second-largest economy is going through hard times. At the convention of the Communist Party, which is taking place these days, Xi Jinping also spoke about sluggish economic growth and geopolitical tensions. Importantly, to improve the situation, Beijing intends to give a priority to the development of high technologies, among other things. However, current US political leaders consider semiconductor production to be a strategically important area for competition with China. After Donald Trump's statements yesterday about Taiwan, today this topic received a different development, which delivered a blow to the high tech. So, Wall Street does not welcome reports of the introduction of strict restrictions on the export of American chips to China. As a result, the S&P 500 index first dived down and then went into consolidation within the intraday corridor of 5,584 to 5,622 points. At the same time, the dollar index, which is calculated in relation to its 6 main peers, also suffered significant losses long before the release of data on industrial production in the United States. By the way, the report turned out to be excellent. U.S. industrial output expanded by 1.6% in June on a year, much stronger than the estimated 0.4% growth. Nevertheless, the US dollar is losing ground. As a result, its index fell below the resistance level of 104 points. That's to the lowest values in the last 4 months. However, today the US dollar index is trading a bit higher within the intraday corridor between 103.60 and 103.90. This moderate move of the US dollar is explained by several factors. First, markets are pricing in a rate cut by the Fed Reserve in just a few weeks. According to the FedWatch tool, more than 96% of the market believes in this forecast. And today, investors prefer to wait for more clarity from the ECB. Although the European regulator is expected to leave the refinancing rate unchanged at 4.25%, the central bank's president may hint at a slightly more active easing of monetary policy in the future at the following press conference. Thus, Christine Lagarde will again encourage the dollar bulls, because such an ECB agenda for rate cuts will work in the dollar's favor. Therefore, our analysts do not exclude today a new pullback in the US dollar index to the levels of early Wednesday. In anticipation of the comments from the ECB president, the euro-dollar pair is accelerating its bullish momentum, having settled above the level of 1.09. Perhaps the bulls will be able to push the price up to the psychological level of 1.10 below, and this scenario is realistic, but traders should take into account the euro's growing upward status. So we cannot exclude the possible pullback of the euro-dollar pair within the intraday corridor between 1.0920 and 1.0945, especially amid the saturated information background today. A new stage in the bullish momentum could follow when the price stabilizes above 1.1050. The oil price also jumped rapidly. The market rebounded to the corridor between $85 to $86 per barrel. The reason, of course, was a report from the US Department of Energy. It again looked a decline in the crude oil inventories, and this time by 4.9 million barrels. That's US oil inventories have been shrinking for 3 weeks in a row, and the oil market returned to the range in which it had been trapped for almost a month. The Brent price interrupted the correction around 83 and went up. As a result, its price rose above $85 a barrel. At the same time, the recent decline fits well into a local correction, bearing in mind that it's the data on inventories that have had the greatest impact lately. We can assume that the Brent price will change a little until the middle of next week, until new reports. Little is changing in the Russian ruble. It continues to demonstrate incredible resilience as was expected. Although the tax period has begun, its peak will happen only next week. Thus, there are no preconditions for any notable changes yet. Most likely, the dollar-ruble pair will move more actively towards 88. So you have watched the Forex market review on the InstaTraders TV channel. We wish you profitable trading and see you online tomorrow. Donald Trump again leading in polls. It seems that Americans enjoy shows neglecting thorny issues.